Hi guys, I'm Laurie Vitale, and on this episode of Laurie in the Kitchen, I want to share with you my take on a chicken Kiev. It's so good, so crispy on the outside, mouth-wateringly juicy and flavorful on the inside. It is just to die for. Let me take you over the ingredients, which there's not many of them, but I'm telling you, all together, they are perfection. Couple of eggs with a splash of milk. These are just some seasoned panko breadcrumbs. Plain old panko breadcrumbs will do. A little bit of all-purpose flour, salt and pepper. And here I have a mixture of scallions, parsley, lemon juice, lemon zest, a clove of garlic, and some dried dill. You can also use fresh. I've got some 6-ounce chicken breast here. And you'll need a little bit of vegetable oil, and that really is it. Of course you'll need some butter, but as you know, it needs to be nice and cold, and I have it in the fridge, and I'll share with you what I'm going to do in just a minute. But right away, what I want to get going on before I get my hands dirty by pounding out the chicken, I really want to get my mixture here all chopped up. Now you can do this by hand, but I'm taking a little bit of help from my little mini chop here, and I'm adding everything in here. And then I am just going to pulse this until the mixture is finely chopped, but it's not into a paste. You just want this to be really finely chopped. Okay, it smells so good already. Now I'm not going to do anything to this. I just want to set this aside. I just wanted to get it ready before I got my hands dirty with the chicken. But now that that's ready, I'm going to work on butterflying my chicken a little bit. Now, what you're going to do, you're going to take a chicken breast. Now it's important that it's a nice sized chicken breast. You don't want these to be thin because otherwise you won't be able to butterfly them. You make sure everything is nice and clean on a plastic cutting board. It's best. And then you kind of just open this up like a book. You make you slice it kind of down the middle. You don't want to go all the way through. Use your knife just to kind of guide you. Again, be gentle because you're not looking to go all the way through. Like that. You see how that looks like a butterfly or like a book? Like so. We didn't go all the way through. Now, this hand is clean. My right hand is clean. So I'm just going to take some plastic wrap. There we go. Like so. And now, you need to pound this until it's nice and thin, but not so thin that it's basically making holes in your chicken. I'm going to use a small little saucepan. You can use a meat mallet. You can use a rolling pan. You can use whatever you have. You just need to flatten this out nice and thin. You want it to be about 1/4 of an inch thick. You don't want to be too thick, but you don't want it to be too thin. Just take your time too. Don't rush it, and make sure it's nice and even. Okay, my chicken has been pounded. I just whisked together my eggs and milk with just a little bit of salt and pepper. I've got my flour that I just seasoned with a little bit of salt and pepper. I haven't done anything to my breadcrumbs. And now I have my butter. Now, as you can see, I just took a stick of butter and I just cut out like a little, I guess like a little matchstick, if you will. And I'll show you what I like to do. Now, this is kind of my preferred method to do this, but you're going to do whatever your heart desires. I'm going to take a few of my, I always want to call them Q-tips, but they're not. They are toothpicks. I'm going to just set them aside because I don't want to cross-contaminate and put my hand in my clean hands into chicken and that. So I'm going to show you what I like to do, and then you can go from there. Take a chicken breast. I actually like to turn it this way. With your clean hand, a pinch of salt on the inside. Then you take your little stick of butter. And you just dip this. You see what I'm doing? I'm dipping the butter. It won't stick perfectly, but you're going to help it. Like that. Okay? And the herb mixture. You put a few more herbs. Like so. And once this kind of cooks together, it melts. It makes for the most delicious sauce. Okay. And then all you do is you kind of wrap this up like a chicken cutlet, if you will. Like that, see? Just fold one side over, like so. And make sure that you secure this well with some I don't know why, my whole life I've been calling these Q-tips, but they're clearly toothpicks. And just secure this really well with your toothpicks. And also make sure you put a toothpick on each end just to seal. Make sure everything doesn't, escape. Like so. And then it's really easy. Like that. And then it's really easy. You just I have this completely wrong as far as assembly goes, but you know, that's just how I roll. Then dip it in flour, then your eggs, and then finally in the panko. And then I'm going to do the same thing to all of them, get them ready to start cooking. I have my oven preheated to 375 because I'm going to sear these on the stovetop and finish cooking them in the oven. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll show you what they look like when they're all done. These are coated and ready. I've got a skillet here with some vegetable oil coming up to really nice hot temperature because I want to sear these. I want that crunch to be out of this world, and to do that you need a good amount of vegetable oil to get it going. If you were to spray these with a little bit of nonstick spray and throw them in the oven right now, they would still be delicious, but they're not going to have that texture, that crunch that I'm looking for. So I always like to start them skillet, put them on a baking sheet over top of a rack, and then pop them in the oven. So I'm just going to take one at a time. I'll do this. Let's see, is it hot? Yeah. Look at that sizzle. And these are only going to take, I would say, maybe 3 minutes on each side. Probably going to do all 4 sides. And again, make sure you have a baking sheet ready with a wire rack on top that can go straight into the oven because these are going to need to finish up cooking in the oven. I'm going to babysit these, let them get nice and golden brown and crispy, and then we'll move on to the next step. These look fantastic. Taking them out. Look at the color of that. Okay. Now, these are hardly cooked. Now, they need to cook fully on the inside, which is why I'm going to pop them into the oven that I have preheated at 375, and they'll be in there for a good 20 to 25 minutes or until the internal temperature comes out at 170, and I'll show you what they look like when they are done. Let's see. Oh, yes. Look at the juice. You seeing it? You seeing it? Perfection. My mouth is salivating. I'm so excited. These baked for about 25 minutes total. And I mean, I can't wait. It just smells phenomenal. That really is absolutely on point. Wow. So good. The fresh parsley. I can really get that dill flavor coming through from the pinch of dried dill that I added in there. Garlic is not too overwhelming. It's juicy. It's flavorful. It is so crispy. Listen to the crunch. Hold on. I mean, really. That is money. So delicious. There are so many different takes on this one. And of course, this is just my take on it. By no means is it authentic in any way, but it is absolutely delicious. Go to laurainthekitchen.com, and don't forget, you can always use different herbs, different spices. Use things that you love and things that are familiar to you. This just happens to be what I personally love, and I hope that you do as well. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. laurainthekitchen.com has the recipe waiting for you, and I'll see you next time. Bye!